Welcome back, Patriots and friends. Spelled F-R-E-N-S. Friends. Alright, so I was covering Trump's news conference earlier this morning. And like 5 minutes into his speech, Secret Service comes up and whispers something in his ear. And apparently there was a shooting right outside the White House fence, whatever. So I managed to grab footage of it, and I'll cover that briefly towards the end of the video. I'll show you a clip of where, the guy walks up to him during the conference, and it's you can kind of hear it. He's like, yeah, there's shots outside. We need to go. But then he comes back and finishes the conference, which is the first video, okay? And then there's an interesting tweet that X22 report put out about Hollywood. And this guy pretty much breaks it down. Well, I don't know who this guy is, but it's good information nonetheless, because that's basically what they do. And that for those of you that have not awakened to the Hollywood agenda, and he even calls out the music industry. So those two clips will be at the end, but the first couple clips: explosions, fires, and volcano eruption. But it's everything is blowing up. What? Why? Where? And I have all my tabs set up, alright? So here we got breaking. Large eruption reported at Mount Cinnabung. I don't know. I probably butchered that. Mount Cinnabung. That's what I'm going to say. In northern Sumatra, Indonesia. God, what is it with all these names I can't pronounce? Gosh darn it.
Si Sri Rasida lang sa ngayon. Igagalangan kasi sa ngayon. Askris. Gambo. Rasida.
Oh, and then we got a gas explosion in an apartment complex. And again, a word I can't not pronounce. Turkey. But I don't know what it is. As a kid, for some reason, that country just always fascinated me. Turkey. I think it was just the name. I remember back in, I think it was in elementary school. Or no, I think it was was it middle school? And during history class, when they would ask questions about like, oh, so what do you think, so and so, where did this happen in what country? I would always just raise my hand, and I would just always say Turkey, Turkey for no reason. I was just, being the class clown. I don't know why. I was always fascinated with that country. Extra tidbit for you folks. But yeah, let's take another look. Right? That was an awfully big explosion. And then I covered this during the earlier video when I covered the news conference, Trump's news conference, because like he got interrupted, and while he got interrupted, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just check my Twitter, and then I came upon this, dude. This was an explosion in Volgograd, Russia. Volgograd, I guess. I don't know. I'm American, folks. I mean, well, Mexican American. Speak Espanol and English. That's it. I want to learn French. I don't know why. Been meaning to learn French. Pero hablo español. I like how the SUV is all like, no. It's like, I'm not going that way. Forget this. Forget what I was going to do. It's not gonna happen. And shoot, man, I have so many tabs open. What's the next one? Okay, no, that one's for the next one. Yeah, so this was an interesting tweet. So recent fires in the following countries appear to spell something. Lebanon. L. United Arabs. E. C. China. I equals Iraq. France. England. Oh, that's what I was gonna shoot. There was. I shouldn't. Oh, is it still open? No. But there was a second. I don't know if it was an explosion or a fire. But today there was also like a fire in Birmingham, England. Like, what's up with all these fires, explosions? There's one in freaking Chicago, which I will show. Massive fire breaks out at market in Amman, United Arab Emirates. No word yet on cause or injuries. Chemical plant explosion at Jingdao City in China's Hubei. 4 people are missing with 5 other injured. Blaze has been put out and rescue work is still underway. Generated building on fire at JFK International Airport in Queens, New York. And I'll show you that other one. Yeah, see, look, they're all like, ooh. I should have chose that. That was gonna be my header for the last video, because that's a better picture than the one I chose. But who cares? Whoa. I don't think I want to see that. People are live streaming themselves looting in Chicago. Congratulations. Three homes destroyed after major gas explosion in Baltimore.
Pottery Barn and possibly an Ulta as well. We believe they've all been hit overnight, and this is very close to North and Clybourne, where we told you we'd watched 2 groups of looters going in there and looting that store, and it had already previously been looted as well because the door was smashed on it. We watched the first group pull up in vehicles, 2 or 3 vehicles. They got out, they went in, they took whatever they were taking and got back into those vehicles, and then we watched a second group pull up and do exactly the same thing, pulled up in vehicles, went in. We saw 6 men in that group go in and take whatever they were taking and get back into those vehicles and take off. Now, we have seen a lot of closures downtown, a lot of restricted access downtown or to the downtown area. A lot of streets have been blocked off. We do know that some of the bridges are up right now. We believe Michigan, Columbus, Wabash and State are lifted. LaSalle and Clark at last check were still open, but if you are coming to the downtown area this morning, you're probably going to have to get around that if you need to get into the area at all. A lot of closures. The Ohio feeder is closed off as well, blocking access to
Wow. Oh, they had footage. I thought I had it pulled up. I guess I didn't. Oh, and now it doesn't want to load. That's not. That sucks. Give me a second, folks. I'm sorry. If I can't find it, we'll just have to move along. But wow, there's a lot of... Alright, so can't find that one anymore. Then we got this. Lebanon ain't playing around. They're getting ready to publicly hang their corrupt politicians, which is exactly what we need to do in the U.S. Hillary, Obama, and then I guess when they were after the Beirut explosion, you know, the people that are cleaning that stuff up, where did they find? Tunnels.
Start of an underground network of panic rooms built beneath the giant silo stores. Now they're trying to shift the piles of rubble and spilt grain laying on top so they can investigate.
They know that there's a labyrinth of subterranean chambers here. They've discovered the opening of just one of them. And if you come a bit closer, you can see the top of what looks like the ceiling of one. And that's what is keeping the hopes of relatives alive, that somehow their loved ones have made it to that shelter.
A Turkish group with experience in rescuing people after earthquakes isn't giving up yet.
We encountered like these situations before.
When you've actually pulled people out after this length of time?
Yes.
But it's an agonizing wait for the relatives of those still missing, who don't know whether they're alive or dead. They have no faith in the promises of a government inquiry, and they're determined someone is held to account for this. Alex Crawford, Sky News, Beirut.
All right, and you know, I guess before I end it, I'll just show what the X22 report was gonna show. All right, so first we got this guy. X22 report shared this. If you don't know who he is, I don't know where you've been, but he's probably like one of the best independent journalists on YouTube, if not the best.
All of these kids, I worked there for 20 years. I saw shit that nobody should see. I didn't partake in things. It was just right in front of me, out in the open. These kids, when you see Britney Spears, when you see Amanda Bynes, when you see any of these young pop stars have meltdowns, that's not because they're famous. That's not because of the pressures of stardom and the money getting to them. It's because they're sexually abused and handed around like candy. You go on Crazy Days and Nights, you can go to Tracy Bean's channel and look up that video, which she did at the end of 2019. It'll blow your mind. They have a pipeline of kids going from Haiti all the way to the Vatican on boats. And there are people in Hollywood who facilitate all this, stars who will go and date rich men. You can look up this, these stories are in the press. They're hidden like they're traveling and they're going over here. They're hanging out with billionaire men in the Middle East. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're Muslim. It's not even that they're Muslim. These are kings, these are princes, these are heads of state, dignitaries, billionaire moguls, all hanging around Cannes. And it's legitimate. It's completely legitimate. They call it yachting. And that's just the dating part of it and having sex for money, which they throw hundreds of thousands of dollars at some of these girls, depending on how long they'll stay with them, and accompany them to dinners and have sex with them and do whatever they want in their orgies or whatever sexual perversions they have. This has been going on for decades, forever. Hollywood is just the most publicly visible because it's out in our faces, it's on our airways, it's on our TV all the time. It's in our music industry. You would not believe the level of satanic.
There you go. That's why I can't stand TV shows, movies. I can't even listen to my favorite genre of music anymore. I can't do it. Like, I just kind of see what it is. And this is going to be the hardest part for people to grasp. Because what does the average everyday person do? They go to work, they come home, all they want to do is relax, you know, cook some food, eat some food, throw on their what? Favorite TV show. Listen to their favorite music. Play video games. Wallace, they don't understand that a lot of it's predictive programming. Look at all of the Netflix TV shows that pretty much promote Baphomet, dude. Like that Sabrina the Teenage Witch show. What the heck is that? There's other ones out there. I just can't remember off the top of my head because I haven't watched that shiest for like, it's been more than 3 years now. I don't watch it anymore. You know, if you stop watching that predictive programming, you start to like look at things a little more open-eyed. Your eyes are opened. They're not shut. And that's how these people want you. They want you with your eyes shut and not asking the real important questions. And that's why I was like, you know what? I have to do something. Started this little channel. I don't care. I don't care if I get like 50 followers. Who cares? But it needs to be said, it needs to be heard, and it needs to be shared. Okay, good. It was on the right screen. And then, yeah. This is. I really like this girl, and I believe she's gonna ask the question. She's gonna ask the Q. I think it's gonna be her. Shanarian from OAN. I think is gonna be like, Mr. President, Mr. President. Who is Q? What is Q? And then we'll find out. That's just my theory, my opinion.
So I have an opinion question for you.
Okay.
Joe Biden is set to announce his running mate at any time now. We expect him to announce her. Many of your supporters feel that the reason that Obama's former NSA, Susan Rice, is at the top of Biden's list is that she can best cover up a lot of the Obamagate surveillance crimes that have taken place during your campaign. What are your thoughts? What is your opinion? Do you subscribe to that line of thought? How do you feel about it?
Well, look, the Obama campaign spied on our campaign, and they've been caught. All right, and now let's see what happens to them. But they have been caught. They've been caught red-handed. It's probably treason. It's a horrible thing they did. It probably never happened before. At least nobody got caught doing it. But they used the intelligence agencies of our country to spy on my campaign, and they have been caught. And there are a lot of people involved. I don't want to say how much she's involved. Frankly, if he chooses her, that's fine, but that's a potential liability. We'll see. But President Obama knew about it. Joe Biden knew about it. Comey knew about it. Brennan, Clapper, the whole group, they all knew about it. Lisa Page and her lover Strzok, they all knew about it. And we have it documented. We have it in texts. We have it in all sorts of forms. They knew about it. It was a terrible thing. Should have never happened and should never be allowed to happen again to a president. This should never happen again. This was a setup like we have never seen. I think it's the political crime of the century. And they've been caught. So let's see what happens to them all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
You notice how he mentioned the word treason? And then just the other day, he's like, hey, you know what? You probably aren't going to see me for a couple days, or, you know, you ain't going to see me for a while. Because he's going to be insulated and protected because, you know, he pissed off Big Pharma when he signed that executive order, right? And what happens to doctors when they promote holistic health? Oh, they just miraculously end up dead? 2016, 2017, 2018. There's been like, I think like over 90 deaths of doctors that are like, hey man, this stuff works. It's good for you. Oh, boom. You're gonzo. It's open source information. You can do the research yourself. Look it up. Just look up doctors who were promoting holistic health therapeutics in just the last maybe 6 years, and see how many deaths you can find. It'll tally up over 90. Open source information, folks. You have the information at your fingertips, okay? I'm not going to do the research for you. Just giving you an insight. So yeah, here we go, right? So I was watching the presser, and I kind of got started late because I was trying to like figure out how I could play, like have my face and then play it like in a box. But I finally I figured it out afterwards. I was like, dang it. So, right? So I pulled it up. I was like, I'll just start streaming now. And then it was like 2 minutes later. I think I was like 3 minutes late to start recording it. But this is what happened, right?
Records hopefully soon. Excuse me?
So I guess there was a crazy person that they shot their gun. It's like, oh, are you gonna shoot a bullet and that bullet's just gonna go through the fence and then wiggle around, go through doorways and all this stuff and then hit Trump? What? But apparently they were put down. So Trump administration ain't playing around. You come around there with a firearm, you're gonna be put down. So let's check out the footage.
Someone reported he shot.
Well, there you go, folks. That's your daily news. Thank you for watching. For those who like and subscribe, share it. It doesn't even matter. But yeah, be safe out there. Be prepared because something big is going to happen. That's just my prediction, my theory. I think it's going to get so bad to where it's like everything's going to be shut down for like at least 20-30 days. Everything. Can't go to the store, can't buy food. So stay safe, be prepared. Have some storable food that at least a month's supply of food and water. At least. That's just my prediction. Use your own discernment. You don't have to believe me. But I think it's going to get to the point where this might happen. Okay? I know it sounds insane, right? It sounds crazy. But with the deep state cabal, you never know. When is their next FF, right? When it's gonna get so worse up until the election, because they want the mail-in voting, but they're not gonna get their way, so they're gonna create distractions. They're already saying there was an article that said hold on, it might be on I can come back to that later. Okay, well, I can't find it at the moment, and I'm not gonna scramble around and waste your time. But it was reportedly said that 97,000 children tested positive for COVID just right before schools are meant to be reopened. Oh yeah, they're probably gonna use that excuse, be like, "Oh, keep schools closed." Shoot. Let's see where I can go. Alright, so this comes out of MSDNC. Over 97 children tested positive for COVID-19 in weeks leading up to schools reopening. Really, when they were reporting that kids are, it's like they're the most immune to it, now all of a sudden, these people are evil, man. Can't stress that enough. The mainstream media, it makes me so angry that these people it's like all my normie friends and my mom and my brother and my nephews, they're like, don't get sick, you might don't get COVID, wear your mask. I'm just like, no, do you guys know that this isn't real? I mean, it's the common flu, which goes around, and that's real. The virus is real, but the whole, hey, you're gonna die from it and you need to wear a mask, no, that's all fake. And they won't listen to me. Like, no one will listen, man. It's frustrating when you're trying to wake up your family. Your family and friends, right? Not just people on the internet, because all those people, they're already woke and they already know. But it's those people in your lives that you interact with on a daily basis that just say, what? You're crazy, man. And you can sit there and show them evidence and they're still just like, no, that's stupid, man. It's not going to happen. I was talking with a coworker. I was like, dude, Trump just signed an executive order to give us a payroll tax holiday. And he was all like, oh, it's not going to pass. It's not going to pass. I'm like, it's an executive order, dude. It passed. It's very infuriating, and I don't know. That's why I have to come on here and make these videos, because I have to kind of just let off some steam, because no one in my life is believing what I'm talking about. Sorry if I got a little personal there, but I'm sure a lot of y'all are probably feel the same way. You know, you're out there like, dude, check this out. This isn't good for you. This isn't good for you. And, you know, so forth and for on or whatever. Like, you know, like, you can only do what you can do, and this is my way of doing it. That's why I don't care if I don't get any likes, don't get any followers, or whatever. I'm surprised I even have 100 subscribers, which is, thank you so much. I'm trying. Trying to bring just real information, stuff that's not on the mainstream media news. I'll continue to do so. If I find out more info, because it's still pretty early. For me, it's still early. This isn't late for me. I can still probably crank out another video. Alright, so thank you. Be aware, stay safe. Where we go on, we go off. Patriots worldwide.